Well, Mohammed, thank you so much for helping me with my project, especially on such short notice. I can't go to the coffee shop and ask somebody to interview, but I could meet somebody new on Twitter and boom.
Yeah, that's nice. Thank you. It's my pleasure to join you.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
As you already know, my name is Muhammad Aziz. I'm a medical student. I'm just in my uh, here. There is a yearly system of medical studies, and I'm in my final year. And as far as my hobbies goes, there are computer gaming, sports, badminton, football, and chess too.
Oh, you like to play chess also?
Yeah, I'm quite a fan of this game. I like to watch its videos, to play with different people on the internet and on board anytime.
Are there any particular websites that you play on?
Yeah, I play on Lichess and chess.com.
Okay. Both me and my sons, we have accounts on chess.com. So
Oh, that's nice.
we'll have to meet up there.
Yeah, we can meet anytime there.
So what kind of medical doctor do you plan on becoming? A general practitioner or some specialty?
Right now, I'm studying for as a general practitioner, but but this is in my mind to go for specialty in neurosurgery.
Oh, neurosurgery. Wow.
Yeah, I really like that subject, and I've watched it live videos. I just love it. I love that stuff.
Have you heard of a company called Neuralink?
Neuralink, I think I haven't heard that much about it.
Yeah, Elon Musk, he has Tesla and he
Oh,
has
that one.
SpaceX. He also has
Yeah.
that company that's creating a brain machine interface. It actually
Yeah,
inserts a whole bunch of little probes.
yeah. By transplant, I have read something, an article about it, but I haven't got much information how it's gonna work or what will be its advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah, they had some type of open house, I think about a year ago, and they were showing their
Yeah.
technology. They have this robot that can plant 1,000 little probes into the brain in very precise places, and they can use it
Okay.
to sense brain activity, but then also to stimulate neurons. And what their first project is going to be for quadriplegics, people who've lost their arms and
Yeah.
legs,
Yeah.
so that they could
Okay.
actually control a keyboard and a mouse, and they would actually be able to feel like they were typing, even though they weren't
But
moving their hands.
as you have said, it's about probing, so it means it's going to be an invasive procedure in which you have to open the skull and place the probes there. And secondly, there are a lot of reasons for being quadriplegic. Some might have spinal cut downs or breakdown spinal injuries. There are a number of reasons that might not be located in your cerebral cortex where you are going to place the probes. So it's a good thought, a good way. I think it's going to progress much further. But actually, if you have to cure a quadriplegic, first you have to rule out the cause, which is creating the problem. But probes is a good idea, I think.
Well,
But it's
and
going to take a long time before we map the whole neurological network and know exactly that where we are going to place the probe in this particular patient. So I think this
absolutely,
is going to take some time.
yeah, they call it what, the connectome, the map of how all the neurons are connected together.
Yeah,
That's really exciting. Um,
yeah,
yeah, it's amazing. I mean, his goal is not to help quadriplegics, even though that's like their first step. His goal ultimately is to create a brain machine interface that all people could use to kind of extend their capabilities. It's just like the quadriplegics are like the
primary goal, you can say.
are like the initial step
Yeah,
because it's like testing out a new artificial lung. Somebody that needs a lung replacement would be more willing to try it
Yeah,
out than somebody who has
yeah.
healthy
I
lungs.
have read some studies about they're trying to replace heart transplant method with a stem cell generated heart, so body don't have to face any tissue rejection or anything like that.
Yeah, it'd
Yeah,
be
there
your
are
own
gonna be
tissue.
advancements. Yeah, it would be they would take your stem cells and then they would activate the genes that would result converting it into cardiac muscles, and there would be no rejection because it would be your tissue. Body is not gonna react against it. So yeah,
That
there
is,
are upcoming researches and advancements in medical fields. Obviously, it's quite a change. If you go back 50 years, 40 years, see the death rates there by then and compare it to now, there is a much change and there is gonna be much changes in the field.
wow. And this whole COVID-19 thing, apparently had some neurological issues as well.
Yeah, but it's I think as far as I have studied, it's more related to immune response because it goes in your respiratory system, it goes in your macrophages, it activates cytokine storm, and this caused the respiratory distress, which is seen as a major problem complication in the COVID-19 response, and all other neurological and fever and other symptoms. They are just caused by the immune generated response against COVID-19. That's why
Yeah.
you might have heard about the drug response dexamethasone, which was recently published in the British papers. It's helpful because it suppresses the immune response and thus you can say lowering the complication rate.
Yeah, I heard it can improve the recovery time by something like 5-10%.
Yeah, because it's gonna say actually it's a steroid. Steroid drugs usually act by dampening your immune response. When you damp your immune response, it's naturally gonna be less respiratory complication, less fever, and patients are gonna improve quickly.
Hmm. Yeah, we have so much more to learn about this disease too. And
Yeah,
this isn't,
it just it hit us like an unknown virus. We didn't know anything about it.
and suddenly we're all sitting at home.
Yeah, I guess so. Otherwise, you would have we can have a tea.
Oh, exactly. But how has the lockdown and the COVID-19 situation affected your medical training? Are you
Um,
all at home?
we yeah, because we are not right now we are not trained, or you can say we are still graduating and studying. We are not fully prepared. We are not fully trained. Okay, as far as I'm speaking on my behalf. So we are still at homes because if we go to hospitals for training and other things, these are not like you can say need of our. It's not the need of our. If we go, we are also suspected to get COVID-19s, and it would be a loss to lose students who are going to be your future. So we
Absolutely.
are all currently at homes. I think from March, I guess, from March 21, I think our colleges, universities just shut down and they sent all students home.
Yeah, it's the same case with me. Like with this project, I was looking at some of my earlier videos. I went to
Mhm.
England in March, not in March, at the end of February. And
Okay.
I have like the videos of me talking to the person on the bus and on the train and at the coffee shop and on the street. I'm thinking, oh wow, those were like really wonderful days.
Yeah, I really miss by even a lot of my buddies have started posted pictures and event pictures from the last year, and this is and everybody is writing. Even I was talking to my friend in the morning today, and he was saying that he just misses us, and I know him. He wouldn't say that he misses us if it's not necessary or if he really misses us. Otherwise, he would not say this.
Ah, yeah, we're all in like different places now.
Yeah. Let's hope so we all get out of this situation safe and sound with all of our family members and our relatives and siblings, everybody we care about.
I know going out and about will feel, I mean, it's like fasting and then having a meal, right? I mean, we'll appreciate it so much more getting to see people in person, at least for a while.
Yeah, yeah, I guess we really need that now due to strict lockdown. But people are actually the point to say that sadly, people are not totally following the protocols and the standard operating procedures about COVID-19. That's why it's getting spread. It's not like some hawks or like it falls from the sky and you get it from nowhere. People are getting it because people are breaking the protocols. That's why it has spread so wild like a wildfire, and everybody now seems to be getting it.
Hmm.
People are still lacking and they think that it's nothing and we will get through it, and it's just like a fever or a common cold. It doesn't matter, but it does matter.
I know I actually had a coworker get it. He was had like 103-degree temperature for like 2 or 3 weeks, and he spent a week in the hospital. But luckily he recovered. So I was really,
Well,
really
that's a
fortunate.
good news. That's a great news. People do recover, but I think those who lose their loved ones, like their grandmothers, their mothers, it will be a loss for them for like forever.
Oh, exactly.
They wouldn't be happy that okay, all other people are recovered. It's a good news, but their loss is still a loss, no matter how minor percentage of people lose this battle.
Right. And even if you recover, I think the research is showing there might be some long-term health effects as well.
Yeah, yeah. I was studying a research there that was done in Wuhan, and they were saying that people who have recovered from COVID-19 still have low lung compliance, and it's not like a normal healthy person. Although they are recovered, but they are not fully responding to, you can say, strenuous exercise or different things which would require stamina, and they have lowered the stamina. But I have also seen people who have got COVID-19 positive and there was absolutely no symptom of disease, and they got it, then on the next test they got it negative and they got antibodies against it and everything, and they followed the whole disease course but they have no symptoms. I have also known such people.
Wow. Yeah, I know, because that's the common thing. You're like, hey, I don't have the disease, you don't have the disease, but that's not necessarily true, because
Yeah,
you just may not have
you
symptoms.
could be you could be an asymptomatic carrier. That's why actually that's also one of the reasons that it spread so much, because you think or I think that I am fine, I'm good to go, I will meet somebody, there would be no harm. But I don't know if I'm a carrier and he will be on a ventilator in next a week or two. Yeah, I wouldn't know that. So it's just like it's good to stay at home and follow the protocols. I think that's the best for everybody.
Oh, exactly. And now you got everything at home. I mean, you and I can talk, and we're like
Yeah.
separated by like 3,000,
Mm,
4,000 miles, 6,000, maybe, I don't know how many thousand miles.
I think it's more than that.
Okay.
It almost took a day to take a flight from Pakistan to America.
So
So
maybe
it's gotta be
12,000
more than
miles.
6,000 miles.
Yeah. My world is shrinking as I stay in this house. Are you still there? No worries. I was just telling
You were
you,
saying something.
yeah, I was just saying that my problem with distances right now is that staying at home, my entire world is shrinking. And so I have trouble understanding how far things are from each other. So, yeah.
So tell me about yourself.
Well, I live in Houston, Texas. I work
Okay,
for a software company. So on the computer all the time. And I have two sons. My oldest one is 21. My youngest one is 17. And
nice.
my wife is Indian, actually.
Oh,
So,
nice.
and my in-laws live with me. And I love space. We have a space society here in Houston that I put together. And I just really excited that the next 10 years might be the time that humanity really takes its first steps in a really meaningful way out into the rest of the solar system. So
Yeah,
that makes me really excited.
yeah, you're quite right. It has been changed so much in the last previous years in terms of technology, mobiles, internet. You can say, I remembered when my father got Nokia N86 in 2010, and I was like, man, what a great mobile! It has great camera and everything. What could be better than that? Okay, and then iPhone came, and then Android came, and everything was like, okay, we don't know we needed that, but now we need it.
Exactly. I mean, the iPhone is what, 10 years old? I mean, I think the iPhone came
Yeah,
out in like what, 2010,
yeah.
2009,
I think it
something
was
like.
2010 iPhone 1 was introduced,
Yeah, but it
and
feels
it
like
was thought,
forever.
yeah, and it was thought that I was reading some paper, and it was thought that when they sell iPhone, they know people don't know that they need it, but they are still selling it because people will need it one day when they realize how advanced and how multimedia sources and how many things are possible with this. It's
And
just
it
like a mini computer now.
and it's amazing. I mean, if you just think back like 15 years, just to call the next city, you would have to pay so much money per minute.
Yeah, it was a line, what we
Long
can say,
distance.
landlines. That
Landlines,
was the time
yes.
for landlines. And I remember when my father was connected on the internet, and dial-up was like two, 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 and that internet, and he used that dial-up internet to play chess online. At that time, there was YahooChess.com, and he was really good at that website. I
It's a
used to stand beside it and watch him and say, do that move and do that move, and he would tell me how wrong I was suggesting.
and it's amazing to think now we have cars that can drive themselves,
Yeah,
and
automated cars.
it's really amazing. Um,
It's sorry, you were saying?
oh, I was just going to say, um, I was wondering if you had heard that NASA is planning to send people back to the moon in 2024.
No, I haven't read about that. That's really exciting. But they should plan for Mars, I think. Elon Musk has already suggested to send nuke it, so that atmosphere can be recreated, which would be stabilized enough to hold oxygen and the.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people like we've already been to the moon, so why are we going back? Maybe we should go to Mars, like you said. But one thing is the moon is a lot closer, and uh, a trip to Mars would be like multiple years.
But there's another point. Moon is only having like you can say 1.6 meter per second square of gravitational acceleration and all that gravitational problems you're gonna face. So it's not gonna. I don't think it will hold a stable atmosphere for for future planning. Yes, you can go there. It's closer. It's definitely closer and would cost less. But I think it would be hard to sustain an environment for people to start living there, like a sustainable environment, not just oxygen tanks and astronaut suits. That would not be a sustainable.
Well, that's true. But I think there's a lot of scientific discoveries to figure out on the moon in terms of the meteor impacts, which it has like a good record of, and then it has material that could be mined to help support space development.
Yeah. Yeah, we can use it as a fuel source,
As a fuel
like for
source.
my mining and and gathering resources. Have you? Sorry, I'm a gaming enthusiast. So, have you played Mass Effect series
A
by EA
Mass
Games?
Effect, I have not. What
Yeah,
is? I'll have to write it down.
it's 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 a game by EA Games, and it's really amazing for like people who like space and moon and It's we go to Andromeda galaxy and different alien creatures and everything. It's just mind-blowingly amazing. I think anybody who loves space would really like it. Yeah,
Is
there are
it
some inaccuracies in it, but it's amazing.
is it a PC game?
Yeah, it's a PC game.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, just see trailers and some reviews about Mass Effect 1, 2, 3, and the latest Andromeda. In that game, we used to travel. There are relays from which we can travel at speed more than light speeds to different galaxies and different systems, and we can study the planets that are there, and we can also extract minerals from meteorites and this and that. It's quite extensive. You will enjoy it, I think, if you try give it a try.
And in your vision of the future, is that sort of what you envision humanity ultimately doing, or do you see that as being just something fun to think about?
Well, in my opinion, I think humanity will expand its feet beyond the Earth in upcoming years. But in order to do that, first we have to find a planet that has a sustainable environment for us. We are not gonna like go there and astronauts are already doing this, like I said earlier. So it would be hard for people like I would say it would be ideal if normal people can go there, not just astronauts. Then it would be like saying humanity has expanded its reach beyond that. So I think there are some discoveries about you have heard planets like Earth, but they are still too far. So yeah, maybe not in few years or in my life, but maybe in next generations.
But I mean, how important do you think it is to live out in the open? What about creating big domes that people can live within, and then you don't have to worry about the
I
planet
think
being?
yeah, big dome is a good idea. Uh, I would not oppose against big domes, but again, there is a spacing problem and maintenance cost with the big domes and everything because it's not natural. Like on Earth, you can breathe easily, you can drink, and you can do any. And what would be the population pressure would do? It's not like a Elysium movie, like you go there and elite class lives there and common people live there. If you have watched the movie, it's not like this. I think it would be better to have a planetary sustainable system than domes. Domes is kind of far-fetched, but maybe for a temporary use.
And what do you think about the idea of not even having a planet at all, having some type of big space structure that spins to create the gravity, and you could put them wherever you want?
Um, it's a nice idea, but what would we do about that much population? How
But
can we manage on that ring thing?
I mean, the neat thing is that if you had like the spinning thing, then going from Earth to Mars, you would be able to have the gravity, or at least the effect of uh, the same effect as gravity as the craft is spinning. And so maybe the fact it takes so long to get there won't have such a negative effect on people.
Yeah, but what about all the infrastructure, fuel costs, and everything that's gonna be required to put it? It's I know it. I also think that it's good to think ideas, and ideas are always innovative and basis for anything. But I think we still lack far in technology to achieve such an accomplishment.
Yeah. But maybe it's something like you try to do and then you run into a problem, you figure that out, you try the next step, you have to kind of.
But like you have said, if it's gonna work on gravitational, it's gonna be so much massive. It's gonna require a mass and so much diameter and orbit and everything like that. So for in order to do that, it's not like making a mobile or something like this, a hand-sized computer, or this and that. It's not gonna be like this. It's gonna take many years and many resources. Maybe it would be possible in future. I don't know yet. Maybe it would be good to see, as far as I can see, that something such an achievement could be such a goal could be achieved.
Yeah, I think that the future is as big as our dreams.
Yeah,
Um, so if it was safe and affordable, would you have any interest in going into space yourself?
yeah, why not? I think that would be my first priority. Would be affordable and easy to go.
Are you thinking of just a trip into orbit, or would you go to the moon, or would you actually go and live on Mars for the rest of your life?
As far as I can, as far as I can go, any further would be welcomed by me. Maybe Mars, Neptune, even Pluto. That's great. That's nice.
It'd be it'd be cold. Bring bring something warm.
Well, if they are transporting people to La Pluto, they must have already have done something about cold. It's gonna
That
not gonna be freezing there.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Well, I mean, that's those are pretty much the topics I had in mind. Was there something else you'd like to discuss?
Mm, I think I'm also out of topics.
Well, we'll definitely have to be in touch again.
Yeah,
I
it was nice talking to you.
it's good talking to you too, Mohammed, and I hope you get a good night's sleep.
Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.